But when it was revealed that it was wrong, it wasn't even a story. Nobody even knows it. Nobody, I'm saying it now, and there have been little art, like a line, but that's a very...
So
I'll give you another example, Sean. Let me give you one other.
Sure.
I went to the CIA, my first stop, because I have great respect for intelligence. Not the man who headed the CIA. I don't have any respect for him. But Brennan, I didn't think he was good. But I have great respect for the CIA, for the people. I went there. I have even more respect now because they took me for tours. They showed me. They're amazing. I made a speech. Now I know if it's good or bad. I'm really good at knowing, did I do well or did I do poorly? And hopefully I don't do
rate every
poorly. I
speech?
couldn't have done so poorly because I won, right? But no, but in your own head, you do too.
I know.
When you do an interview, you say, you know, I did great or I didn't do so good. I gave a speech that really was a 10, relatively speaking. I had a standing ovation like you wouldn't believe. Everybody. And it was such a success. Okay, so now I see CNN and other people say, well, who was in the audience from Trump? Trump. I went there with a few people. There's nobody. It was all CIA. They said, but I heard the first row and the first two rows. You saw that press conference. Sean did a great job. But this guy, whoever he was, I don't even know who he was saying that we stacked the audience. I can't stack the audience at the CIA. I paid great homage to the wall with the stars. I paid great homage. And the audience was standing ovation. They were standing from the beginning. They didn't even sit down. It was one standing ovation, the whole thing. So I get back, and I will say Fox treated it great. They said it was great. When our new person running, Mike Pompeo, who's fantastic, he said to me the other day, that was so great. Everyone loved it. Everybody loved it. When I got back, I saw the speech. They didn't like it. It wasn't respectful. It was a smattering of applause. It wasn't a smattering. It was, there were like 300, 350 people in the room. Over 1,000 wanted to come. And if I took a vote right now, I would have won 350 to nothing, believe me. But even that was demeaned as much as they can demean it. What I'm saying, Sean, is this. The media, much of the media, not all of it, is very, very dishonest. Honestly, it's fake news. It's fake. They make things up.
So then here's my question. Between Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, I think you reach 50 million people.
Yeah, pretty close.
But if we know now through WikiLeaks, some of these networks were colluding with Hillary's campaign to defeat you. I've seen major newspapers, 2 cable networks that use the word liar. And my question to you is, does that make you want to rethink entirely how this administration will deal with the media?
Well, they're the liars. Let me give you an example. When Sean got up, he talked about the audience, and he talked about, I had the largest audience. I did. I had the largest audience. If you add the television, you add all the sources, the largest audience in the history of inaugurations. I did. They try and demean it so much. And when you look at pictures, I'd love to show you a picture. When I was in that speech, I looked out, it was a sea of people,
in the West Wing.
And they wanted to demean it.
Yeah.
I don't even know when that picture was taken, by the way, to be honest with you. But it wasn't taken from where I was shooting. They take a picture from the back, from the Washington Monument, a backward picture. They are so demeaning, and they are so dishonest, and in many cases not smart.
Well, but I don't remember them treating Barack Obama this way.
They don't.
There is a distinct difference.
That could never have happened. The things that happened to me would. And he's been very nice to me, I have to say, and he wrote me a beautiful letter. But the Martin Luther King thing is an example. That was a terrible thing.
And coming up, more of my cable exclusive interview with President Donald Trump in the White House. And welcome back to Hannity as we are outside of the White House. And earlier today, during my cable exclusive interview with President Trump, well, I asked him about his campaign promise to repeal and replace Obamacare. Let's take a look. Obamacare. The Republicans, they're meeting in Philly, and you're going to see them, but they had an artificial deadline. They set the deadline for tomorrow.
Right.
They don't think they're going to make that. You want, at the same time, repeal and replace. I know there are 9 separate plans out there. What is crucial for you to have in that plan to help?
Let me tell you what's crucial for me. What's crucial for me is for the public to understand that Obamacare is a disaster, okay? Because now the Democrats are saying, oh, it's wonderful. It's a horror show. You don't have your doctor. You don't have your plan. You have 116% increases like in Arizona. It's a disaster. It's going to be worse this year than it was last year. It actually explodes in 17. And I told the Republicans, I said, look, if you really want to do something, just let it explode. and then they'll come begging us to fix it, okay? Begging. But that's not the right thing for the public because we have to get it fixed. But Obamacare doesn't work. It doesn't work. And President Obama told me something that was, I thought, terrific. And I believe he means it. He said, if you came up with a better plan and you could get a better plan approved, he would support it. And I actually believe he means that. I do believe we're going to have a much better plan. I think we're going to have a cheaper plan. I think it's going to be a lot less expensive. Obamacare is the Unaffordable Care Act. The governor of Minnesota, who hopefully he's better now because he took a pretty bad tumble.
Yeah.
But he said a month ago that actually during the campaign and after the campaign, he said the Unaffordable Care Act, or he called it the Affordable Care Act, is now unaffordable. Bill Clinton called it crazy.
It went up $5,400 when it was supposed to be down $2,500 a year. Let me move on.
It is, by the way, it is unaffordable.
Well,
and it doesn't work.
You know, you can't even buy a catastrophic plan.
Correct. And the deductibles are so high that unless you get hit by a tractor, you're never going to be able to use it.
Let me ask you, energy, and you know this from your years in building, it's the lifeblood of our economy.
Right.
We are dependent on foreign nations, many of whom do not like us. We have more shale, we have new technology, we have hydrofracking, natural gas, we're the Middle East of natural gas. How important a goal is it that you want this country to move towards energy independence?
Very important. It's very important.
Can you do it in 4 years?
Oh, I think you can do it in a lot less than that. No, it's very important. No, they stop you environmentally. They use the environment to stop a lot of good things, not only energy, buildings and factories, plants. They use it to stop things. It's like a roadblock, but that's not going to happen anymore. And by the way, I'm an environmentalist, okay? I believe strongly in the environment, and I'm going to protect the environment. But you don't have to have a man who wants to build a factory or a person or a company wait 10 years going through approvals. At the end of the 10-year, get rejected, okay?
You mentioned the forgotten man a lot, both during the campaign
and woman,
and in your inaugural speech. And you mentioned it last night. I gave you statistics, the very first interview I did with you. 95 million Americans out of the labor force, nearly 50 million in poverty, 44 million Americans on food stamps.
I've never heard you say that, Sean.
I say it every night.
I'm kidding.
One day you asked me, what are those numbers you give? You said. But explain, by getting rid of regulation, energy independence, jobs that'll be created, a 15% from the highest corporate tax rate to the lowest corporate tax rate in the industrialized world, and repatriating trillions. How does that help and impact those people I talk about all the time?
Well, hugely. We're going to have jobs. We're going to have good jobs. We don't have good jobs anymore. We're going to have good jobs. Look at what I've done recently. Ford's moving back, and General Motors is going to be spending massive amounts of money, and Fiat Chrysler, the head, who's a highly respected man, Sergio, flew all the way from Italy to go to the meeting 2 days ago. They're going to spend a lot of money in the United States.
Foxconn, $7 billion.
Foxconn,
Alibaba.
Alibaba, who's a great guy, by the way. All of these companies, they're all excited. They had no intention. You know, here's another thing with the media. Oh, they would have done it anyway. They weren't going to do it. You see Jack Ma, he had no intention of doing it until I got elected. And he went down and he said, I'm only going to do this because of Donald Trump. And nobody put that in the papers, which is okay. What difference does it make as long as he does it? And he's going to do it. These are great people. These are great companies. And they're going to spend a tremendous amount of money. And it's all because they know how good it's going to be. And what it means is jobs.
And trade deals. You got rid of TPP. You want all bilateral trade agreements now?
Look, here's the problem. Number one, they didn't do anything on currency devaluations, which is a killer for our country because we don't do it and everyone else does it. And they just absolutely
But
kill
you
us.
want bilateral?
Absolutely.
We're
going to make deals with every one of those countries. And you know what? If the deal doesn't work out, we terminate the deal. When you get into the mosh pit, I call it, where you have all these countries together, you can't get out of the deal. And you take the lowest denominator. In other words, you have countries that don't treat us well. They're in there. We want to deal with the ones that treat us well, and if they don't treat us well, we terminate, or we give them a 30-day notice of termination, And then they come back and they want to renegotiate during that 30 days, and we get a better deal. We don't make good deals anymore. You almost wonder who does these deals. How did it happen? So just look, to sum up, we're going to make great trade deals. We're going to bring back jobs. We're going to have a strong military. We're going to do great.
And coming up, I asked President Trump about the threat of radical Islam and how he plans to defeat it. That and more as we continue from Washington, D.C. Please stay with us.
We will reinforce old alliances and form new ones and unite the civilized world against radical Islamic terrorism, which we will eradicate completely from the face of the earth.
We have to get rid of ISIS. We have to get rid of ISIS. We have no choice. This is evil. This is a level of evil that we haven't seen.
Yesterday, I had the honor of swearing in General John Kelly as our Secretary of Homeland Security. It's going to be amazing. Tomorrow, I will swear in General James Mattis as our new Secretary of Defense. These men have devoted their lives to defending America, and now I look forward to working with them to keep our country safe from the many threats we face today. That includes protecting Americans from radical Islamic terrorism.